How is everybody doing today? And in this video, we are going to be talking about one of the new characters coming out in version 1.5. And it's funny enough that we're getting the drip market now because we're just about to enjoy Miyabi and Harumasa coming into the game. Of course, Harumasa is free, but Miyabi, everybody's going to summon for because we all know and see, especially from the showcase that I have posted. And guys, make sure to go watch that if you haven't already. We have a brand new character and it's a little scary. We have Astra Yao, the character that was in the Game Awards trailer that I was talking about way earlier, that I hypothesized to be a support. And well, look what we have here. We have an ether support for a new faction, Stars of Lyra, and this is very scary. I mean, super scary. I mean, definitely by far one of the meta shifts of the century type of scary, because now we have a 5-star or S rank support, which we didn't have previously. When it comes to the roles that we've had in the game, we've only had, for the most part, a Rina, who's been the 5-star S rank, and she's kind of centralized into a niche category within an element. But for Astra Yao, she is going to be our first S rank generalized support, or our first S rank support for the most part, that isn't from the standard banner, which is a pretty huge deal, especially when you start looking at the characters that we're looking at from the previous games that we've had before. In Honkai Star Rail, we've had Robin, we've had Ruan Mei. These two have been the pillars of support for the longest of time for general teams, for every type of team, and also for their niche teams as well. And this just means that there's just a whole ton of value from Astra Yao off the rip just by knowing her role. And for ether as well, which hasn't seen a lot of love as of late, only having Nicole and also Astra Yao, which is actually pretty good, because that means that we're also going to be looking at other characters getting fleshed out in terms of this element. This could mean something like Zhu Yan getting absolutely busted now, or other possible teams, which would be really cool. Right now, there's just a lot to look at when it comes to what she's able to bring to us as Astra Yao. We do know that she is a singer for the most part. That's kind of all we do know when it comes to this character, and other than that, she just looks really freaking good. And now that we have another faction, we can expect more units from different factions, and possibly some that are going to synergize with her later today when the drip market happens for this character, which I'm very excited for regardless, just because she looks absolutely amazing. And not only that, her being a support means either she's going to be a niche support that's going to be for a certain type of team. I do think they might pull back from Anomaly characters since Anomaly has just been getting so many additions to his archetype. We've had characters like Bernice, we have characters like Seth, we have characters like Yanagi, Miyabi, all these different characters that deal with Anomaly, and they've been buffed to the absolute max. They're currently the best characters in the game. But right now we're looking at Astra Yao coming into the game, and I'm assuming that either she's going to be boasting some type of new archetype, or she's going to try to bump up the attack characters like Ellen and Zhu Yan up to Anomaly levels, although I think Zhu Yan already has that for the most part. One thing I do want to say now is that there is something definitely to look forward to when it comes to the version 1.5 characters with Astra Yao. Whoever else comes out, I will bring this up in the next video as well whenever we look at the next drip market. But the main thing I want to talk about is that the ultimate update will be out from version 1.4. So I do expect, especially with the way some of these characters are functioning, like Miyabi and Harumasa, that they have certain aspects of their kits designed to deal with this ultimate update, with everyone having their own ultimate, which is a pretty big boost. And I am going to be making a video talking about the ultimate update and all the what you should know about it in a video coming in the future. Make sure to be a sub for that. But going ahead and talking about Astra Yao with the ultimate update, I do feel like, because Nicole, we've seen already, or I can't say we've seen already because I've been able to play the ultimate update, but looking at the ultimate update, Nicole gets a massive, and I mean humongous, buff from it, because it allows her defense shred to be able to be up on the field longer for a crazy amount of time, because she's able to use her skill, go into a DPS, go back into Nicole, use your ult, back into the DPS. You're able to do so much damage now that Nicole has a long-lasting debuff that's going to stay on the field for quite some time, because it is the ultimate, and she's able to get it back very, very fast, which I can't wait to show y'all in the future. But Astra Yao, with her coming after the ultimate update, now it might be a little too soon. We might have to wait a couple more patches, or maybe another patch for them to fully synergize these characters kits to the ultimate update. But Astra Yao has the potential to be taking full advantage of the ultimate update if they saw this far into the future, which would mean this is the next generation of units, which would be a really strong and really crazy way to start it off after Miyabi, because now, as the support character is, with how strong they can be, being the pillars of a meta, pillars of the game, and a character that if you don't pull, you're probably shooting yourself in the foot. These characters are going to be scary to skip. So right now, we are currently in a dilemma before Miyabi's release that Astra Yao and Miyabi are going to be back to back. Of course, Miyabi has a little bit more time on the banner than usual because she, of course, will be here the whole patch, which is actually really cool to see. You have time to pull Miyabi, and then you need to start saving for Astra Yao immediately, which is going to be a little scary, I know. Right now, Astra Yao just looks to be a really pivotal portion of the game, just because now we're finally getting a support character down the line that is a full-on S rank. Now we have some really good A rank supports like Lucy, Nicole, Sokaku, and Rina, of course, as being a standard 5-star or standard S rank. She is kind of relatively put to use in her own element. So with Astra Yao, either someone like Juyin is getting a massive buff, like I mean a huge buff, or we're going to be seeing her be a more generalized support for maybe the attack units, which would be really cool to see. This means characters like maybe Ellen, Haramasa, Nekomaru, Soldier 11, Juyin. These guys might be absolutely insane. She might be able to attack, boost attacks, boost the damage period over all of these characters, and that will pretty much help them out with the onslaught of anomaly characters that we've had so far, because my lord, are all these characters absolutely insane. Bernice is insane, Jane Doe is insane, Miyabi, Yanagi, all these characters are just absolutely wild when it comes to the power that they're able to do, especially with the ultimate update, how strong they've gotten because of that update. Yeah, attack needs quite a bit in order to pull back the power that they used to have in version 1.0 to 1.1 to be able to stand a chance against the anomaly characters. Because with Miyabi's inclusion in the game, yeah, it's gonna be really hard for an attack character to get close to this. Have you seen Miyabi? If you haven't already, look at that video. I swear, she is nasty. She does a little too much damage, a little too easily, and a little too much. But other than that, that's pretty much gonna be it when it comes to talking about Astra Yao. Again, very excited for her inclusion. I love these singer characters, and apparently there is an actual Twitter account for this character, which means we're going to be getting a concert very soon, I think, if I'm not wrong. I don't know if it's going to be just for Astra Yao's music, which would be kind of cool, but it could be a Zenless concert overall, which would be very interesting. Overall, really nice of a singer character. I really like the design a lot. I mean, a crazy ton. This is one of my favorite designs in Zenless besides Miyabi. For freaking sure. I'm not even gonna lie. But other than that, that's pretty much gonna be it for this video when it comes to talking about Astra Yao and all the potential that she has in the game with her inclusion to all these characters in Zenless 0. So other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. See y'all guys in the next one, and peace.